Yo everybody, welcome back to another JD the Gamer video here again with Game of Thrones Legends, and in this video let's continue our conversation, but this time we're going into the Red Squad. Who's the best among the Red Squad? Wait a minute, did you know that 85% of my viewers currently are not subscribed? Click that subscribe button. Let me know that you care about the videos that I'm giving you, and that'll help the channel out. Okay, so just like last time with the green team, we got the red team, and we're going to look at the best legend, the best epic, the best common, and then a potential honorable mention. We're going to start off with the honorable mention, and dun 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 dun, spoiler, there is no honorable mention. I don't think it's a close battle on who is the best of each rarity, if you will. I think it's pretty clear cut in my opinion. Now you guys might have your own say so on who you use. Maybe you don't have these people, so you don't use them, so you don't know. It is what it is, but in my opinion, it's pretty clear cut. So for the Red Squad, we have no honorable mention. So let's get straight into the commons, and it's going to be very simply Lannister Spearman, okay? I think it's pretty easy when it comes to the common character, the best red common character. The Lannister Spearman provides a lot of utility and a lot of damage for your team. So the first move, stamina speed, is normal. Cruel jab. The Spearman strikes a single enemy 2 times. Each strike deals 111 attack physical damage. So that's 222% of damage since he attacks twice, with a 35% bonus critical strike chance. So he has a really high critical rate opportunity to hit the opponent for even more damage than what the skill calls for. Then you go into his secondary skills. When Cruel Jab critically strikes, so you have a 35% chance to strike critically. When you do critically strike, it wounds the target for 2 turns. Well, you might say, JD, what is wounds? Wound prevents the target from being healed from any source. So for 2 turns, that enemy cannot heal at all. Beautiful move. So you do good amount of damage, strike twice. You can potentially critically strike them, and then you can stop them from healing, so you can go in with your next character and destroy. And what makes it even better, the Lannister Spearman as a common, he provides a lot of stat bonuses. So I currently have him at a 5-star, so I get 20% extra attack, 10% extra defense, and 10% extra HP. Once I get him to a 7-star, and remember he's a common, so you'll get more shards of him than you would of a legendary, he gets another 10% on the defense. So you're talking 20% attack, 20% defense, and 10% HP. For a common unit, that's pretty solid. So I think it's pretty hands down. The best red common unit is going to be the Lannister Spearman. Looking into the best red epic character, this got a little tricky between 2, but I narrowed it down, cut the wound wide open, and the best epic red character is going to be one they give you for free, and that is Jon Snow. I think his kit, everything that he brings, pun intended, Kit Harington. Anyway, I think what he brings to the table as a whole entire character is really good for an epic. I'm not even going to tell you who I had him up against, but I went ahead and went with Jon Snow. So let's look at what his skills are. Skill 1, I'm of the North. Stamina speed is normal. So there's a lot going on in this move. Jon grants all allies 15% critical strike chance. So just on that first spot, everybody on your team gets 15% critical strike. Now if you pair him with the Lannister Spearman, now the Lannister Spearman all of a sudden has 50% critical strike. Okay, so 15% critical strike chance for your whole team, 10% critical strike damage for 4 turns. So you get critical strike and damage, critical damage for 4 turns. Already, if you just ended the kit right there, if you just ended that move right there, I think that's still a solid move for an epic character. But wait, there's more. Second part of this skill, he then strikes an enemy for 104% attack physical damage. So just a little cherry on top, bloop, you get an additional 104% on top of the critical strike and the critical damage. Pretty solid, right? Then you go into his secondary skills. You were meant to have them. When an enemy is hit with a critical strike, remember you already buffed your entire team with critical strike. There is an 80% chance John will inflict 3 ice upon them. Now, in previous videos, we've talked about ice teams. Ice teams, I think, are the strongest teams in the game. Ice teams are really, really strong. 80% chance to inflict 3 ice. And you only need 5 to get brittle. Brittle, extra 200% damage on that character. Pretty solid, man. This unit is solid. Now, you keep getting his star level up, you'll, just like with the Lannister Spearman, you'll start adding all these stat bonuses. He can get 10%, he already has 10% attack extra bonus, but then you'll get an extra 20% of HP and then a 10% defense if you get him all the way up to a 7-star. So I think there is conversation to be had on who the best red epic character is, but when you take his entire skill base and everything he brings to the party and the fact that you get him for free from the game, I think it's hands down Jon Snow, the best epic character for the Red Squad. And then moving on to the best legend character for Red, okay? Again, this might be some bias on my part, but I think it's pretty clear cut. You can make a case for maybe 1 or 2 others. Maybe 1. I don't think 2. Maybe 1 other, but I think it's pretty hands down Daenerys Targaryen. Hope I'm saying her name right. I got a comment on one of my previous videos that I was saying Daenerys when it's supposed to be Daenerys. So we're gonna try to do it the right way. Daenerys Targaryen, okay? I think she's hands down the best red legendary character in the game. Let's take a look at her kit. So first of all, Dracarys, right? Stamina, speed, fast. So she's going to be gaining her stamina and using her skill very quickly, okay? Daenerys deals 59% attack fire damage to all enemies. Not a lot of crazy damage out the gate, but this is where it gets crazy. Each target afflicted with fire receives a bonus 50% attack fire damage for each fire they have. So, just like with an ice team, if you build a fire team and stack a bunch of fire on these characters, her skill starts to hit even harder. And it's a AoE, a whole team hit. So let's just say you have all their characters with 4 fire each. That's 200% fire damage on top of the 59%. So she's doing 259% fire damage to the entire squad. Okay? And as you keep starring her up, if you see next level 4-star, 4% bonus attack fire per fire. So instead of 50%, it'll be 54% for each fire. So her damage can stack really quickly. And the fact that she gains her stamina fast, boom. Let's look at her leader skill and her secondary skills. So if she's the leader of your team, she begins combat with 25% fire resistance for 5 turns. I don't really care for her leader skill. But she also gets 5% attack. So I guess if you want to make her leader, there are a lot of better leaders in this game. And we'll have a video later on where we talk about the best leader skills as well. But I don't think her leader skill is that great. Let it be fear. If Dracarys hits with a critical strike, Daenerys gains 5% stamina. So she's already got a fast stamina wheel, right? Every time you do some red gem, she's gaining her stamina to do Dracarys very quickly. But if you hit with a critical strike, she's also gaining stamina as well. So you can see how this skill Dracarys can just be used and used and used, and you can destroy the enemy pretty quick. And then she doesn't get as many stat bonuses, but I think that's just simply because her kit is stacked as is. You can do a lot of crazy damage, so if you continue to just add on stat bonuses, she's going to be ridiculous and break the game. But if you get her up to a 7-star, you'll get 10% extra defense and 10% extra HP. That is why I feel like Daenerys, I almost said Daenerys. Daenerys is the best legend character for the Red Squad. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is my red team. Let me know down below what you think. Here is a breakdown just real quick. Best red legend, Daenerys. Best red epic, Jon Snow. Best red common, the Lannister Spearman. There was no honorable mention. I think red is a pretty simply, boom, these are the best, and that's what it is. That's just my opinion. Let me know if you disagree down below. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you can't use any other red characters, but I think these are the best ones in their respective field. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But until next time, man, it's your boy JD, and I'm out this thing, baby. Peace.